Hi everybody, Jo here again. How are you doing? I hope you're feeling well. I know there's some bugs going around, so if you're feeling under the weather, I hope this just brings a little bit of sunshine and makes you smile. Now today I'm coming in with an old technique, but it's one that you never get tired of. And so we're going to make a fun background, and here's a few that I've made already. This is such a fabulous technique to do. But the thing is, to a certain extent, you never know how it's going to turn out. And it's lovely and simple, and it's just using your acrylic block, your Lavinia acrylic block. Now remember, we've got different size blocks, so you can make different size backgrounds. And all you need, I tend to use a bigger piece of card so that I can cut it down. And there are various ways of doing this. So I've just chosen in my elements, I've gone for russet orange, mermaid and dark denim. And what I tend to do, also have your water spritzer handy, and also have your fan brush and another brush in your water pot. Now I'm just going to put some orange at the top of my design. And then I'm going to come in with some mermaid, sort of in the middle, and I'm not contaminating, I'm not putting my ink pad over where I've already got some ink. And then I'm going to come in with dark denim at the bottom. Now again, just going to take it up one side, just because I feel like it. Now, just turn those round so I know which one's which. Now you have choices here. So one thing we can do is I'm just going to get, you know me, a piece of kitchen roll and put it underneath my card. So what you can do is we can spritz this. So just off camera, I'm going to spritz it a couple of times just over Mr. Eric, so we get a nice spritz. Now the first one I show you will just spritz and we'll pop it straight down. And I love this. Look, by pressing it, you can change the reaction. And the best bit the best tip I can give you, this is fabulous. And if you're feeling a bit down, do you know what? This cheers me up no end. Depending how you lift it, look, you see it's starting to lift. The pattern changes, and you can have so much fun just by pressing it, look, but also lifting it different ways. So if I lift it, look how that's... And I've got to be honest, even if I don't like the final result, this just I just think, and again, don't judge me please, but I just think this is great fun. I'm hoping you can see the different sort of reactions you can get. So I'm thinking, let's keep that darker bit at the base. So I'm going to see if I can get some little splodges up here first. So give it a good press, and then keep it down at the bottom and lift it up. Now, what I do tend to do is have another piece of kitchen roll so that if there's any bits like this, now I could leave that and let it dry, but I'm just going to soak that up. And this is what it's so, I mean, it's just great to do, and you will get so many different results. Sometimes I even take this and make almost little shapes. Just drag it out a bit, which is what I did on this one here, look. As I lifted it up, it sort of, I had a lot of ink and water there, so I just got it on my kitchen roll and moved it. I think I might stamp that one up today. Now, you can leave it like this, or if you wish, you can bring your fan brush in and add some water splatters and see how it dries. So I'll put that to one side, and I've got another piece of copy paper just to show you a slightly different. So very similar, orange at the top. Mermaid in the middle. Now again, think of all the different colours of ink you've got, different combinations, different size blocks you've got. You could have an afternoon of just making backgrounds, and then you can decide how to stamp them up. Now with this, move that card out, what I can do if I want, look, is just come in and add some water splatters. Or you can come in with your brush, and I might decide I want this more watery here and manipulate it. Maybe a bit more here where this joins. And depending where the water is will depend on how much white space you get. So it varies. So again, quickly turn that over, pop it down. And again, obviously, depending how much water you've added, you'll get that movement. And if you get some water running out, just add that to your design. So look, we can lift it up again. So I'm thinking if you want backgrounds for your fish, all those sorts of designs, those lovely mermaids, the jellyfish. So again, I'm just gonna, and don't forget what you can do at this point. If you want to, again, manipulate it. Now I'm just using multifarious card here. Remember, you've got your watercolour tags, you've got watercolour card. Have you got any offcuts of watercolour card? Let's just add some splatters. So, honestly, it is just great fun. And think of all those different combinations. So, as I say, look, because I added less water to some areas, I've got that white space. Just give my hands a bit of a wipe. So, if I show you the other ones I created... So this one, this is where I added the water splats after and let it dry. I almost think that looks like a bit of a map of the UK. Oh, that's bizarre. Do you know what? You can have great fun looking because decide which way you want them. What do they remind you of? So interesting. I mean, again, if you wanted, just imagine the dragon. If you did this in oranges and reds and then put one of our gorgeous dragons if you needed a card for a male that loved dragons. Seriously. You will just have great fun creating. You see, I love this where that's gone lighter now. So you can even let it dry a bit and then come in and we can just push a slightly lighter colour now. So although it's random, you can manipulate it. And I'll just show you. If you're anything like me, you're going to have, I really need a washing line where I can hang all these up to dry. And that's the one we've just done. Now, remember, you could put some of the little mica minerals in the water. You could use your dinkles. I mean, seriously, this is just the starting point. I know you clever lot, you just love to play. But I just thought if you haven't seen that technique done, or if you've forgotten about it, it's a great time to pop in and remind you. Fine liner. I told you this year is the year of the fine liner. And I think this is perfect to add this border. Now, because it's quite a random border, I want to go with that. So I'm just going round once. And then when I come round the second time, if there's any bits I want to highlight or any bits I want to change. But again, you know, this is just great fun to do. And again, I'm just varying the shape on the corner there. There we go. And also remember, if you want, you can colour some of these in. I mean, you could go around, colour all of them in. Oh, and again, I mean, that's lovely. Do you know what? If you want to do something relaxing, make yourself a nice brew, get yourself a nice snack, and just go round and colour these in. Honestly, I won't do them all, but it is so relaxing. If you've had a hard day or you're stressed, just colouring those in my opinion, is just lovely. Lavinia, low-tack tape. Just going to put down one side, because if I don't, I'm going to stamp right over that. And for this, I'm just going to come in and use Bulrushes. Now, if you need a fabulous stamp that's great for condolence cards, for men's cards, look at that. Use the acetate. The Bulrushes is fabulous. Versafine Clair, Nocturne. We're just coming in with the black. I just think with a background like this, silhouette stamping works so well. So I'm just going to put one here. And again, it's a silhouette, so I need to give that ink time to soak in. And also make sure that background is dry. But look at that. I don't want to go over. I love that area there. So I'm just going to come in and just sort of angle this way. I don't want to go right across because I love that. As I say, I don't want to overstamp that. In fact, I'm actually going to stop there. I love that shape. And what I have got is this lovely stamp and it's birds. And I just thought, look, again, use your acetate, birds flying over there. And I've not used this stamp for a while. And I'm just going to give that a dry. Pop that there. Now, it might be you want to put the butterflies. We've got the butterflies, the silhouette butterflies. It might be you want to actually use one of our butterfly stickers. So I'm just going to give that a bit of a blot. Remember, we always blot it. And then I'll come in with one of our circle masks. And I'm going to use the darkest colour. So that's the dark denim. And I've gone down to the smallest of the brushes. The number 3 brush is fabulous for this. And I'm thinking, yeah, I'm just going to have that there. So turn it upside down, always blend in the lid. And I'm just going to start at the base where the colour's darker. And it just gives me, I can see how those tones, because I don't want it to be too bright, not against the yellow. I just want it to be a lovely subtle colour. So every time I ink up, look, I start at the bottom and then move my way around where I've got less ink. And again, look, I've just caught, look at that there. The masking tape just came up to the top. Let's see. As I say, I don't want that too much yet. And then I'm just going to fuzzy this edge. I'm not adding any more ink. I'm just using the ink that's on. I don't want a solid line there. I don't want it to look solid that I've actually put. So I'm just going to invent a little cloud across the moon. See, that colour there, just for me, makes it look like that, carries on that. And you see, this is me. I would just play. Now, I'm going to take my low-tack tape off. This, Lavinia, comes off just like butter. But if ever you're worried it's too sticky, use your heat tool. The heat tool melts the glue and look, it comes off beautifully. I mean, look at that, just for some playing. Now, your little finishing tricks. Sorry, my tin of my soft pastel pencils lives on the floor next to Eric. So with the white one, I'm just going to add a little bit of a highlight up here. And again, just smudge it with my fingers. And then just on the bulrushes. Now again, you could use a gel pen for this. You know me, I just like my pastel pencil. And again, just give it a little smudge. It just helps fix it, but also I think it looks better. And I'm just adding some here with the, I love it just in the base, look. And it's these little things. And then to finish off, I mean, I like this area here of these little mottled bits. If you weren't keen on that and you wanted to add a little bit of black pastel, you could darken that. I'm leaving mine because I like it. Just to finish off, I'm going to add some Posca. And again, it's all about choices. Quite often I like the yellow sparkle, but I'm going for the white. And again, I'm just going to give it a shake. Come in and just add just a few. I don't want too many. Just, I love, you see how the white spots are there? And I just think it takes it across the rest of the design. So it almost extends that part. There we go, I don't want too many. And that for me, I would just create quite a few toppers and leave that, because that is going to come in. And that could be a birthday card, a get well card, a bon voyage, somebody going on a trip, somebody going abroad for a gap year. So much you could do with that. And there's the one that I've matted and layered look, just to show you. And what I'll do is just bring in a couple to remind you, look, that one's not quite dry. Now again, that one is more solid colour, but there's still a lot you can do with it, especially because you can add your inks on top. I mean, this one's still a bit damp, but I just know you are going to have hours of fun. And let's face it, I know you've all got acrylic blocks, and I bet you've got a stash of card cut ready that you can just create. So have fun, and I can't wait to see what you do. So you take care. Join me again next week. Love and hugs from me. Bye for now.